support.
Joe Biden spoke about this yesterday. He said that obviously, you know, that the evacuation has now ended. The last American troops have left, but they are still confident that they will be able to get those who helped them out. What options are available to get those Australians out? I mean, it doesn't seem to me like it's that easy.
Peter, it's not. And this is the part that really has annoyed me greatly, for the fact that we withdrew before that attack. I've spoken to some of those veterans who were there on the ground, and they're sad and they're angry that we left our US counterparts there and we missed out on another 5 or 6 days worth of evacuations. But for people like myself, fortunate enough to still have contacts with some American friends and some contractor friends, you know, we're literally doing everything that, you know, Australians do, and we pride ourselves on doing, and linking in and trying to find these people seats on private flights out, trying to find them passage to the Pakistan border. Doing all these things. These are all volunteers. I have a team of volunteers doing this. Well, as you know, mate, not a single politician or staff member or department has taken a pay cut or be influenced by COVID. Yet the Australian citizens are the ones stepping up to support each other. So
you believe we should have stayed, even though there's quite a good chance that we would have been caught up in that terror attack?
Yeah, Peter, look, we train our servicemen and women to go into dangerous places to support Australians and those that we are sworn to protect. And, you know, that doesn't mean it's not left or right. You know, Australians would have died or Australians wouldn't have died. But that's what we train and deploy our servicemen and women to do. And, you know, particularly when we know there was going to be an attack, some of these veterans are telling me they wish that they were on their position and could have potentially stopped that attack, you know. And we don't want to get into these what ifs. But now those servicemen and women who were there and were withdrawn before that attack are having themselves ask those questions. And, you know, there's withdrawing to an inner perimeter, then there's going back out and still being there to the 5 or 6 days to provide more time and space for our Australians to be, those we're responsible for, to be withdrawn. But we can't make up that time.
Yeah, I just have one very brief question here, Heston. Sure. You probably can't do it as a brief answer, but I'm just wondering how you've reconciled with your time in Afghanistan. Many people have said, what was the point of it all? Because now you're back to square one anyway. Do you feel, is there an empty feeling this week?
Well, Peter, in particular, I was over there with the Special Operations Task Group, and between the period of 2001 to 2014, we killed over 11,000 Taliban and insurgents. We weren't so much caught up in this nation building. We provided security for those Australian forces providing that nation building. I know there's at least 11,000 of these formerly cowards that you hear beating their chest, talking about our soldiers died in vain, no longer on this earth, no longer attacking women, no longer planning suicide IED vest attacks in public places. We have learned so much. So many of us young Australians have actually been able to link back in with those values our Anzacs forged back in Gallipoli, seeing people fight through without fear for themselves and supporting those to their left and to their right. So for those generations of veterans that went through that place, I know at a personal and professional level it was worth it. And as far as showing what our service men and women can do, free of all of this political nonsense we're seeing right now, we definitely know that there's a new generation of Australians who can carry this forward and make sure this doesn't happen again.
Okay.